Good evening, guys. Bill McMillan here with a quick video update for you. Saturday evening, just about 6:30 as we record this video update, and certainly well-deserved, a rather quiet radar image here across the state this evening. We do note convection beginning to develop and blossom over Illinois, and as we move forward, the HRRR simulated radar suggests that a little bit of that may cross the state line later on this evening and impact northwestern portions of the state before diminishing as we move into the overnight hours, before potentially some redevelopment of scattered showers and storms to our west as Sunday morning approaches. I think overall tomorrow, though we can't totally rule out the chances of a shower or thunderstorm, coverage tomorrow should be much less than what we've seen over the past couple of days. We'll take that certainly, as it has been an active, probably one of the most active times, at least in August, that I can remember in recent memory, when you factor in the tornadic activity along with the flooding rains that we've been dealing with as well. So just a very active, busy time of things. We need to catch our breath and get set for what will surely be more fun and games down the road as we move into fall and winter. Taking a look at the European ensemble data, this is a look at the 500 millibar pattern, or the upper air pattern, and the persistence of this ridge here across the east is certainly notable. It will back west and take up residence over the central portion of the country. As that happens, we are going to see probably a brief cool down to wrap up next week and go into next weekend. Some refreshing air. If you take the GFS verbatim right now, we may go into the lower and middle 50s next weekend, with highs only in the 70s to near 80s. So refreshing, we would take that. But unfortunately, there's strong agreement that a rather significant ridge will build over the Ohio Valley as we move closer and closer to Labor Day, and that would promote a return of the heat and humidity for the holiday itself, with temperatures well into the 80s, humidity, and then potentially feels like conditions in the 90s across central Indiana. So it does continue to look like a hot Labor Day after a brief cool down next weekend. Finally, we'll take a look at the GFS. Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms remain in the forecast tomorrow. The next item of note will actually be a cold front that will slide through here and deliver that briefly cooler air the middle of the week. We think probably Wednesday evening into Thursday is when that front comes through, and then a refreshing east and northeast flow courtesy of high pressure to our north that again will help provide a much more refreshing air mass and cooler conditions overall. All the while, we continue to monitor the tropics. We have to continue to monitor that disturbed area down in the tropics right now, and whether or not it can get its act together and impact somewhere along the Gulf Coast region later in the week is still too early to determine. But as we've been saying, I think all interest along the central Gulf Coast, really anywhere along the Gulf Coast for that matter, should continue to monitor the progress of things down that way over the next few days. I will say, though it has been a hostile environment over the past several days for this guy, if it can get into the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to be a much more favorable environment when you factor in reduced shear and also a very, very favorable warm sea surface profile that this thing could really begin to ramp up as well. So far too early to write it off. We'll have to continue to monitor and update things as we move through the week. Guys, make it a great Saturday evening. Thank you as always for your support of IndyWX.com. We'll talk with you soon.